Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my new model presentation. As I said in the last time I did a video of this yesterday, this is not the final version of my new model, you know? It's good, but it's a little bit simplified too because I was getting sick of not being able to record anything for a very long time. So we're gonna use this one in the meantime. It's pretty much done, but my clothes are gonna be a bit different. My headset is still not exactly the way I want it, so there's gonna be some changes, but overall, it's pretty good. I'm done working on my head and my hands and stuff. That's all finished. Except for one thing. See how my tongue sticks out like this, and the material looks kind of fucked? I'm not exactly sure what causes that. So see, if we move this light around, at certain angles it looks a bit better, but I don't know. I'm gonna work on that, see if I can make it a bit better. I feel like a different material for the tongue specifically would help a lot. So, we're just gonna talk about things like that as we go through this video. I don't need to make a new preview, so like a Twitter preview. So I'm just gonna be as slow and thorough as I want. No rushing today, no rushing. So, yeah, that was my first blend shape, this tongue. I like it a lot. Other people seem to like it too. It's good. My second expression here is angry. I can be mad. I like this one a lot too. It's kind of, look, watch how my cheeks move up and down with this. Just a few bone movements like that can get you. I'm shaking my head around right now. I don't know why. I just had dinner, so I'm a little bit, stuffy. It is cold out, and I just have a cold, so, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna have to bear with me. But look at how much my face changes just from moving my cheeks up and down and shaping my eyebrows a little bit. That's pretty cool, isn't it? You can see similar effects here when I smile, but it's not quite as dramatic. This face looks a little bit psychotic, but, it's good enough for now. I think it's just because my eyes look, big and wide. Like I have, bigger eyes than usual. But I don't. That's just what they normally look like. This is my sad face that I can do. Again, we're moving the cheekbones up and down. My eyebrows move down a bit, and so does my nose. Overall, it gives just a very sadder expression. And my eyeballs are squished a tiny bit too. Because I'm not going to model like eyelids. I'm not going to do that. So I try to get a similar effect just by deforming the eyeball itself a little bit. I think it's good enough. I can pog. We're not going to linger on this one because I don't like it very much, but I can do that. I can bug out my eyes like this. I like this a lot. I did this with my old model in a lot of thumbnails, but I didn't have it set as a real blend shape. I enjoy this one quite a lot. Yeah, this one's really good for thumbnails. And this is my think expression. This is for when I'm puzzled or befuddled by something. It's pretty good too. And of course, you can stack blend shapes too. Or, oh, maybe not with the way I have them set now as toggles or something. I don't know. But, well, whatever. That's not important. We'll see that in Blender later. So what else about how this model moves should I show off? Let's zoom out for a minute here. There we go. We're gonna see this, in Blender, but just get a sense for how I move around here. I don't have leap motion, so I can't do any arm tracking, but the way that the shoulders move with the head is really nice. I didn't do anything special for that. That's just how VC Face does things. It's nice. Or maybe it's a VRM thing. I don't know. But it looks nice overall. My legs move slightly too. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I don't know. just move around for a second here. Like, you don't usually see someone's model moving from behind like this. Alright, cool. So, let's see something here. If I switch to... Yeah, there we go. Very nice, it works. So, let's move over to Blender. And, oh, we can put me in the corner too. Check that out. Okay, let's fix that real quick. Maybe you can tell, but I don't exactly have a plan for this video. I'm just kind of doing stuff. But that's alright. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'm still rotated a bit. There we go. Now I'm facing you head on. Okay, so this is my geometry. This is what my model looks like in Blender here. Let's go ahead and turn on wireframe. There you go. Now you can see all of my topology. You can see where all my edges are. This is mostly not interesting, but let's look at the hands for a minute. This was a little bit tricky to get figured out, but overall it works. I think I like this a lot, the way these hands are set up. It looks kind of messy, because it is kind of messy, but all of those edges are there for important reasons. Some of them seem kind of strange, but I needed them to be that way so that the shading looked right. Just trust me on that. I don't know if I can really explain it or prove it here without doing anything in depth, but, you know, everything is set up the way it is for a reason. Usually it's because I want shadows and smoothness to go certain ways. Alright, so my nose has so much more detail than before. I kind of want to bring up my old model really quick to show you how different I've gotten over time. Probably should have imported that into this Blender file so we could do that. Yeah, let's just pan around for a minute. You can get a sense of how I'm put together. This belt was kind of a nightmare to make. This took me a long time to get right. And, you know, maybe I didn't get it right in the end, but... Is my mouse wheel not working anymore? There we go. It's just, you know, it's there. It's alright. Could be more perfect, but it's okay. My slippers were fun to do. I like that a lot. Alright, so now we can turn on colors here and see the materials. Now this is workshop lighting, so this isn't exactly what it looks like in practice, but looks pretty good. I don't know where that sentence was gonna go. Okay, turn off wireframe. Yeah, so this is what I look like in Blender. You can see that I tried working with the colors on this band here a little bit, and it just didn't come out right. So if I swap back to VC Face in OBS real quick, you can see that my headset is a different color than in Blender. And that's because I was doinking around with some material settings, trying to get everything to look right. And I just couldn't do it. I'll get it figured out eventually, but for now, I just can't get it right. I don't know why. It's not the worst thing, though. It's just a different shade of gray, so who cares? I do. I care a lot. But I'm willing to live with it for just a second. Excuse me for just a minute. Okay, turned off my mic volume, so you shouldn't have heard that. Am I a bit loud? I don't know. You never know if the slider is good or not. Oh man, I can still feel that quite a bit. Oh well, whatever. Just how I am today. Just have a cold. So you can see my t-shirt here. This is a lot nicer than my old one. But it was kind of tricky to put together. So what I had to do... Actually, do I have this blend file still? Wait, before I start going around in my file system, let's swap back here so you don't see that. Do not save changes. Do I still have that? I don't have that blend file. Do I still have my old 0.8? I do! So we can look at that in a minute. Let's finish up with the current one, though, first. So yeah, this is my new sundog that I had been working on before this project. The Falks. It's pretty cool. Very cool. There's a video on YouTube about that. I've been thinking about updating the design a little bit, so I might, post a thing about that also. It's a little bit stylized here just because of the, render settings I used, but it looks nice for a t-shirt. It looks pretty nice. Let me give you a look here at my headset. I'm really proud of this. It's not done yet, but I'm very proud of it as is. The lens is a little bit nicer shaped now. It's got a little cushion there for where it touches against my head. We've got this this connector bar here split up a little bit so it doesn't weigh quite as much. You've got a muffler where it sits against my ear. I'm an amphibian, so I don't really have like the big cartilage thing that you guys have. But I do have just a little hole on the side of my head. I did not bother to model that, of course. But there's a little hole there that I hear through, and this cushion sits on top of that. There's a speaker on the inside, and I've got this little rubber strap that reaches around my head. Holds it against my head. Very nice. Oh, you can see that there's one face here with the wrong material. So like if we tab into edit mode, and we select this face, we change its material from metal to lens, it becomes transparent. So there's a few tiny little things like that that I just messed up on, I just didn't get right. But whatever. It's fine. Nobody's gonna notice. Like if you're in VC face, can you even see that little... Here. Let's see if you can see it. I go into just VC face. Can you even see that? That little... I think you can if you know what you're looking for. You can kind of see that little square, that tiny square there. But you're going to be looking at me like this most of the time. You're not going to notice. And even if you know it's there, are you going to care that much? Some of you might. All right. Make sure you switch back like that. Okay, so what can we do with this? Well, I have an armature. Check out my bones. This is what my skeleton looks like. I've got 3 bones in my legs, upper, lower, and foot. I have 3 bones in my spine, my hips, my spine bone, and my chest. Excuse me again, I've just got a... Nasty. Nasty. I am congested. So, this one bone up here is bigger than the others because that's basically where my rib cage is. So that area is going to be more static than the others. Look at this. I can limbo. That might be a clip for Twitter if I decide to do that this time. Move my arms up and down. It gets a little... No, it's actually not strange at all. That's fine. Forearm a little bit. It's not quite perfect, but, it's good enough, because, whatever. It's good enough. I'm not a professional. Nobody's taught me how to do this. I can move my hand around. Oh, grab the white circle this time. See that? Check it out. Pretty cool. Up and down. Skin deforms just fine. And each finger has 3 bones. So I'm not going to mess around with all of these, but look at this. Look at this. Check it out. It's pretty nice. The thumb only has 2 bones. But look at your thumb. Your thumb only has 2 bones that stick out of the hand. There is a 3rd bone there. If you move it around, you'll see. But we don't generally you don't have to do that in 3D models usually. If you're a professional, maybe you'd want to do that. There would be a tiny bit of deformation there, but I'm not gonna bother. I don't care. I don't need to do that. This is so much fun. Why did I think this would be a drag to make? So like, we can grab my nose here. See, this is a free-floating bone here. It's not connected to any other bones. It's parented to the head bone, but not directly connected. So we can do anything we want with this. Check it out. That is something. You know how in Mario 64, there's the little mini game where you can grab the vertices on Mario's head and yoink them? You can do that to me, too. That would be sort of a bad thing to happen in real life, wouldn't it? You wouldn't like that. All right, put it all back. This right here is my jawbone. Why is my jaw up there instead of... Oh, well, you know what I mean. Why is it right there instead of somewhere else? Well, because this is the axis, like this point here, the tail of the bone, or is that the head of the bone? Whichever, is the axis on which it needs to rotate for my mouth to open. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the weight painting just right, so if I open my mouth too far, it gets kind of screwy in the corners. Can you see that? Oh, it wouldn't ever move like that. So right here, these faces don't know exactly what to do. I will probably refine that more. Oh, wait, do I... maybe this area here needs to be weighted to the lip bone so that it moves better. Whatever. Yeah, I'll probably fix that for my newer version. I might not, though, because I decided, wowza, this is a pain in the ass. I don't want to figure this out. And so I didn't. It's not that big a deal, though. You don't really see it that much. Oh, am I not in pose mode anymore? I'm not. Okay, so start pose mode. Stop pose mode to reset everything. Go back in. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Oh, was I in edit mode for a minute there? I was. Okay, here we are. Now we're fine. Yeah, so these are all the bones on my head. I have these 4 extra eye bones on my eyes right now. My old model used these, but I didn't bother to set them up for this model because, again, that's another thing that would take forever, and it was not necessary to get this model working. Right now, there's only 2 bones in the eyes that affect them. The top one here, and the bottom one here. Now watch this. That sucks, doesn't it? Now, this does mean that this bone is moving past the halfway point, but even when we get close to it, it starts to get really ugly. So, I don't know why this works, but if you grab this bone and the opposite bone on top, take the scale tool, squeeze it on the z-axis, that doesn't happen. Instead, it looks great. Well, you know. But, you know, that works. That works better. Hey, I wonder, would my blink animation look better if I take this bone and this bone, then I squeeze them, and then I also squeeze them on the y-axis? Not with the current weights, but that's a thing to consider. I wonder, what if I take this bone here? This bone controls the whole eye, right? Yeah. I don't think I look better with flat eyes. Let's try something, though. See, I'm always learning. I'm learning and growing every day. So if I squeeze this, and then maybe I take the eyeball bone instead of... I could do that for my blink animation. I wonder if that would look better. Comment below or on Twitter if you think that looks better. Let me know. I'll look into that more at a later date. All right, now. We're doing something right now. See, you can wobble my head back and forth. There is 4 bones, well, 8 bones altogether, along each of my lips. So I can take different points along the lips and yank them in different directions like that. That's a good face, isn't it? That's a really good face. This is essential for certain blend shapes, like the tongue. It's nice. I set it up that way. Some people would say, Bimbi, you did that with your lips because you didn't know any better when you made your first model, and then you reused your skeleton. Yes, that's true. But because my mouth is so huge relative to, you know, the general population of Earth, it's actually nice having a lot of bones here, because if I was gonna model like a human character, I would have a lot less lip bones. I might have like one in the middle of the top, one in the middle of the bottom, and then maybe two more on the sides, or just 2 bones at the corners of the lips, and have like 4 lip bones altogether, something like that. But my mouth stretches all the way across my head, so you want to have a lot more control over it than just like 4 bones. Speaking of, you can do this with my cheeks. Oh, I've never taken them and pulled them this way before. Check that out. That's a cheek pinch. That's something. Cool, cool. My tongue has bones too. That's a great sentence out of context. So like if I open my mouth like this, these are all bones that are not directly connected also. They are parented, but not directly connected. So you can stretch out my tongue as far as it needs to go to get those sweet forbidden snacks. In any direction you want, too. I've got 5 bones here. One of them should stay, like, right there. That one should not move out of the mouth. It can. But you don't really want that. That doesn't help you at all. It does help to rotate it, though. You can definitely rotate this if you want, so that it might be coming out of one side of my mouth. Check that out. It's pretty cool. Now just undo until your changes haven't happened, so you don't break anything. There you go. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Oh yeah, my eyebrows. These are fun. The eyebrows are fun too. You can do stuff like that. It is pretty amusing to do this. I can't lie about it. That's kind of fun. It's slightly morbid too, because it's my own head, right? It's kind of fucked up that I enjoy it. You can do that. Check it out. Okay. Let's look at my legs real quick for just a second. The rigging on these isn't totally perfect, but I can, you know, move them around. They're not supposed to bend. You know, normally, oh, that looks terrible, Bimbi, but they're not supposed to bend that way. They're only supposed to move on this red axis here. So again, not perfect, not excellent, but it's good enough. I can use camera angles to make that look less bad. It doesn't look terrible, though. I don't think it's terrible. You know, for my skill level, for what I'm trying to do, it's fine. I don't have feet inside these slippers, by the way. I didn't ever model the feet. I don't really need to. Maybe I should have, but I just didn't do it. If I, like, try to fix this model, like with the different tongue, and, you know, fix that one face there, I might actually add some feet, but, man, that's a lot of work. I can do it, it's just kind of a pain. Alright, let's see. Here's something you can do. That's, if you're trying to recreate a specific meme, you probably know what I'm talking about. You can do that. Little image macro. Okay, so, I think that might be everything you need to see about this. Right. Oh, well, I could show you real lighting, but... Oh, my blend shapes, that was it. Okay. So take my mesh here. I have my scouter saved as a separate mesh, so that I can hide it if I need to, just not wear it. Yeah, so if I go here, if I select my mesh, my main mesh, go under blend shapes, you can see how my different expressions work. So I have several of these. There's not going to be anything here. Oh, except for this one. This one's not actually incorporated into my VRM. I just didn't bother to do it. The most interesting one to look at is the tongue droop. Because here you can see how the individual lip bones are useful. I could just part the lips a little bit at one section, not all the way across, and then have the tongue hang out. So, alright, now that we're done looking at this, I think we're done, I don't know. If there's anything else you want to see, just let me know, and I'll maybe post a short video on Twitter showing that off. Or maybe on YouTube, I don't know. Alright, so, very quickly. Hit. Is it on my recents? No. Okay, open. Do not save changes. And Bimbi version 0.8. Now this is kind of hideous to look at, so brace yourselves. This is my old model, and while I'm proud of how it turned out for my skill level at the time, I've gotten a lot better at this, and I don't really like looking at it anymore. But we're gonna, just so you can see how far I've come. So this is my old geometry. It's charming, you know, there's something about it that I like, but it is rough. It is not great. You can see how my head here is just two separate meshes, like, clumped together. That's not really good. I tried to make it fit in the back, but, you know, it's not great. It's not excellent. My scouter had a much more rough design. My nostrils are just some squares. Now, oh, fuck. Oops. I don't have the old material associated to this. I can do that. 1 second. I can fix that. That'll be quick. Okay, so we go under the shading tab. I know you're not looking at it anymore. That's fine. I don't necessarily want you to see this. So I'm going to go into my Windows Explorer, and I'm going to get to my VRMs folder. Version 08. And then I just drag the texture file into Blender. I attach it like this. I gotta do the same thing for the lens. You'll see what this looks like in a minute. Or do I? Do I need to do that for the lens? I don't know. Maybe I don't. I don't think I do, actually. Okay. Oh, stay in shading for a sec. Takes me just a second to switch between these. It's called Blender VSF. There we go. So, excuse me. You can see how there's a texture file here, but it's not connected to my shaders. It's just here. Like, I can, but does that actually help? It's a slightly different color. It's a slightly more specific color. It doesn't really matter that much if it's attached or not. Here you can see that I just have this image file from the color node straight to the base color node, and that's how I get all my colors. Yeah, so let's go to modeling. I do something similar on my new model, but it's a bit more advanced. So if I tab to Alt-H, that unhides our vertices, and you can really see my geometry here. It worked, you know, it worked for a while, but I can't say that I was ever happy with it, you know? I never liked how these legs turned out. They just kind of did, you know? I knew a lot less about sculpting, so I had to work with a bunch of really not great geometry. Really suboptimal edges there. Suboptimal topology. I made it work, though. I did make it work, but I didn't ever really like it. You can see here that I did not bother to model all of my fingers. I went for a more mittens, like a mitten hand look. It's fine, but it's not accurate to the real world. You can see that my nostrils here are just two, like, boxes. I was going for a different style with this model. Slightly different style. You know, I wanted to look like an early GameCube character. Or, like, somewhere between Nintendo 64 and GameCube or something. That sort of era of polygons. Like a PS1 character or something. No, this is a lot more. Yeah, you know what I mean, though. So, you know, it's not super great. If I'd wanted to at the time, I could have done more with these nostrils, but I was just kind of intimidated by it. I didn't know what I was doing at all. I mean, okay, I don't know what I'm doing now either, but I had a lot less experience and a lot less knowledge at the time, so certain things are just not as good. Well, I think they are about as good as they could have been. It's hard to say, really. But I think I did a good job for where I was at the time. I'm a lot farther past it now. So, you know, I've got some similar blend shapes here. I like how the blend shapes turned out. They looked good for what they are. Now this is a really nice one that for some reason doesn't work in VC Face. I think it's because my arm moves up over my head, and I think VC Face doesn't let you do that for some reason. But it looks nice. You might recognize this one too from Emperor's New Groove. I like this one a lot. I don't know, there's not really anything else to say about this old model. This is just, you know, where I was before. And so we don't end on a, you know, bad flavor. This is where I am now. Show me wireframes. You can see that the legs are so much better now. This is so much better than that. Whatever that was. If you're a professional, you'll probably be looking at stuff and saying, oh, that looks bad, Bimbi. That's actually bad. But, you know, for me, it's fine. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's good for what it is. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I just show you my shaders. Just real quick. So, again, it's pretty much the same. But I have different shaders for different, well, materials. So, like, you know, my skin is very shiny. I have it set as a specular. BDSF? Not BDSF, it's just a specular shader. Principled for the fabric, also for the rubber, also for the metal, and a very similar lens setup as the old one for the transparency. Now, I don't know entirely how Unity takes materials from FBX files. Oh my goodness, it's almost 7 o'clock. All right, so I had to try and trick Unity, like, okay, usually Unity will try to like merge all of your materials that have the same shader type. So like the fabric, the rubber, and the metal would all be merged into one shader. I don't want that. So I tried to trick it by using slightly different image files, and that worked. I don't think that's the right way to do it, but I don't know what the right way is. All right. This is getting a little bit long. We've been at it for what, 33 minutes? Yeah, we're good. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Leave a comment if you have anything else you want to see, or anything you want to say to me. Maybe hit a like on the video, that'd be good. Maybe subscribe to my channel if you like this. I'm just saying, you know, it'd be good. Okay, bye-bye.